Oh, that was so cool. I feel like I just like shifted a dimension for that transition.
Now you're reacting to the solo artist
Baek Yerin,
who used to be part of the girl group duo called 15 Amp, which Fiona, you reacted to like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. The song was originally released in 2017 on the Car the Garden SoundCloud. So Car the Garden is an artist featured on this track. It got its official release on
Yerin's
her second solo album called Our Love Is Great. The lyrics explore the insecurities of a developing relationship. She feels like she doesn't know herself, so how can the other person ever truly know her? This song is composed by
Baek Yerin.
Car the Garden and Gula.
Dope.
All right, here we go.
That's
Deep.
real stuff. All right.
Ooh, I like the shaker. Everything's like slightly distorted a little bit so as to sound old-timey.
I like the beat a lot.
This is so lo-fi hip hop. Writing homework, studying,
Looking at her cat.
She's a great voice.
Fantastic voice.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is awesome. This is super good.
Oh man, that's kind of cool because like most, I don't know, average listener probably won't pick this up, but like the Vino, it's like delayed slightly.
I would just say I really like the simplicity so far. Like you've just got like some nice like open bass, like just some like whole notes.
Yeah.
Just like the hits.
But there's a couple complex chords in the background, but they don't have the focus. It just helps you vibe out.
Like, do you hear that?
Yeah.
And it's the harmony that's going over her voice.
We've just got like a lot of major seconds in there, it sounds like, or sevenths.
Suspension.
Very cool pitch manipulation.
Wow. Ooh, nice solo. That's classic.
Oh,
I love how like free and improv-y that sounds.
That's not lo-fi. That's clear.
Did that sound out of tune to you? Or like microtonal? The harmonies? Not that one. The first one.
That one?
Yeah, it feels. Maybe it's just.
I think there's like a tritone in there.
Together.
So I think it's a little crunchy. It doesn't sound microtonal to me.
This is unexpected.
They have a lot of like chromatic lower neighbor tones where it just kind of sags a little bit and then comes back up. We're like, okay.
I feel like
I
their
love that.
voices are very close in register. I think that's so interesting.
Yeah, they are. She's more like a conical sound and he's more like a flat. Oh! She sounds like a French horn, he sounds like a trombone.
Oh, that was so cool. I feel like I just like shifted a dimension for that transition. Just the only way I can describe it.
I feel like I'm swimming in honey right now.
I feel like I just like had honey onto like soft melted brie and just like folded it in, and like you see the honey coming out and the brie just like squishes. Oh, that was cool. That was cool.
So explain your thoughts about that song with food metaphors.
Oh, that
It's very thick.
yeah, I meant it for the transition, but okay.
It sounds like honey. It's like a nice golden color.
Cloud describes it as honey, which thinking honey made me remember this delicious treat I had like last summer, which was a melted brie or softened melted brie cheese with honey drizzled on hot honey. And then like you would fold over the brie onto the honey, and the honey would like ooze out from the sides underneath, and the brie would split, and you get onto your spoon, you put it on a piece of bread and you eat it, and it's just like
really good.
So the reason why I think it's like brie cheese, like what's in the music, is you stated this great, Cloud. There's a lot of simplicity as far as noise going on.
Thank you for giving me credit. Yeah.
What'd you say about the bass?
I love the bass was just like whole notes. Like they weren't doing anything super fancy, just like whole notes.
Yeah, they would let them ring out.
Yeah, and then just let it ring. It was also the only instrument that wasn't like synthesized. Like you had like a full electric bass there versus the trumpet sound that do like was very like.
A lot of them were very transitionary.
And then even the strings, like the pluck, 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 like that was pretty synthesized sounding. So like having just such like a pure like electric bass sound, I thought that was nice.
The pits came in at the section change, which is really interesting
like
because everything else,
change,
the bass is like bum, bum. And then this, you have, dum, bum, bum. I don't forget the rhythm of it, but it drives it a bit more. It's someone else singing. His falsetto is beautiful, by the way. And then I love those upper harmonies that Yerin sings. Occasionally, like she'll put in something that, and it's not just like an upper third. I want to listen to it again and try to figure out what it is.
And when they harmonize together, it's like that's some honey right there.
That's some brie with honey.
Like that felt out of tune to me. I don't know.
I think it's just crunchy. I mean, it could be that because they're using like equal temperament in the like synthesized
a more complex
instruments.
chord would be.
It could just be that it's not like just intonation, so
right.
It sounds like crunchier to us because we always play with
we're
just
used to equal
intonation.
temperament, yeah.
So if you look at a piano, between the octave there's 12 different notes. And each of those notes are exactly the same distance apart when it comes to like wavelengths. So every single half step in that chromatic scale is going to be the same distance from each other. The problem is when you have a chord, like a major chord.
Here is your major chord.
Yeah.
In C major, right? And then if you were to go to just intonation, see how the E, feels like it's flat if you were to transition between them.
So what you can hear in equal temperament is there's like kind of waves in the sound if you listen like really abstractly. Like you can hear like this kind of happening in the sound. Whereas if it's in just, it's like
it's very flat
perfectly
and
stable.
even.
Yeah.
Super satisfying.
So like in an orchestra, if we're playing together, like the goal is to play with just intonation where everything sounds really stable and there's no beats in the sound. So like when I'm playing in a horn section, sometimes we'll have to tune the chords so that they all sound perfectly together. And sometimes if you have like an equal temperament instrument, like if you're recording on a piano, or in this song if they're using like synthesizers and they're thinking about it in equal temperament, something could sound out of tune, but in fact it's just kind of the nature of equal temperament and equal tempered instruments as opposed to like actually being out of tune. So that was kind of the debate we were having, like is it out of tune or is it just is it just equal temperament? Yeah.
Yeah, because they're using a lot of color tones throughout it, but it just seems like they're not prepared and they're not really resolved, or they're just, I don't know which one it is. It's just, I think what's probably going on is that they have a triad going on in the pad and they have a bass line going on, but the bass line's moving and then the chord's moving and then there's a clash and then they resolve it. I don't know if it's a thing though.
Well, no, here's the thing. Like, there's definitely times where you can have dissonant and it sounds really cool and lush, but you just have to do it a certain way. And sometimes if there's certain intervals that are present, I feel like they, with certain chord qualities, like don't work as well to achieve that effect.
I think especially because it was going off of triads and seventh chords. Like, because in diminished stuff you can get away with more of that. Or if it was purely atonal, you could get away with a lot of that. But the way it was set up with a bunch of major triads and suspended minor chords, then it doesn't really. You have to prepare it.
Yeah.
That was so nice.
So the way the dissonance was approached
It's like she set up the chorus, the melody, if you will. The beat very much stayed the same the whole time except for the bridge. But the way the dissonance was approached, it was very like under the radar, sort of like, oh, is there something wrong there? Like you can almost sort of hear it. It's like very soft, but as soon as you notice it, it's just boom, gone. The way like the metaphor I'm seeing that as is like when you're ending a new relationship with someone, you both know like how it works. You've been in one before, you know the protocol, like honeymoon phase, like yada, yada, yada. You do the things, you go on the dates, you do all the stuff. But as you're meeting and getting to know this new person, you might like discover one thing where you're like, ooh, like you'll have like a moment where like when you're in like an everyday, like you're on like a date with them or whatever, and you like, ooh, yikes. Or like you'll have like a little moment where you're like, oh shit, like, ooh, this was like something about my past, you know, like you'll just have these like small moments where you're like,
yikes.
But then as soon as you realize that things just proceed on and you just keep going and you figure it out. But that was sort of what I saw the dissonance as.
Baek Yerin.